Even though we now know that both nature and nurture interact to produce our traits and behaviors, part of the reason that the debate between nature and nurture still exists is because of the misunderstanding around something called heritability. We sometimes see people talking about traits that are highly heritable, and whether due to misunderstanding or poor communication, people are often left thinking that this means that a trait is more due to genes than environment. For example, when people say that height is 80% heritable, it doesn't actually mean that height for every one of us is 80% due to our genes. It means that in one particular population, under these particular conditions, this much of all of the variation that could explain height is associated with genetic variation. It doesn't actually tell us about individuals as much as it tells us about a population. Height can be highly heritable within a population and still change across generations when nutrition, disease burden, and living standards change. So, no, heritability doesn't actually settle the nature versus nurture debate because there isn't really a debate and it isn't really measuring that. And that goes for pretty much every human trait or behavior that you can think of. So, if somebody does try to tell you with certainty about how much of an individual's traits or behaviors are due to either their genes or environment, they've either misunderstood the science or they are willfully misunderstanding the science in favor of a particular bias or worldview, be that conscious or unconscious. Which is why I keep coming back to this. Nature and nurture don't simply add up like an equation or bricks in a wall to make a person's traits or behaviors. Everything to do with nature and everything to do with nurture constantly interact to produce what we see in people. Like words in a sentence, if you rearrange them, you can change the whole meaning.